Hello, everyone. Really good to see so many of you here, so many new folks, so many existing members, so many people that we've already long been collaborating with, and so many new faces. It's really, really lovely. And some people join us even from the outside. So this is really fantastic. If you want to, feel free to put your video on. It would be lovely to see your faces. We're really, really, really happy that you're launching into the next half of the year with us. It's kind of incredible to think about that half the year has already passed. It's been, really a blessing in disguise. And I think the best way to start this meeting is really just by thanking all of you for having turned COVID, which was really, a disaster, a catastrophe, into something that is such a flourishing community. And while this community is still online, I think we are really working and guiding our feet to get back into the in-person meetings, which we'll discuss in a second. But I think first of all, just really want to make sure that I thank all of you for turning this community into this really blossoming group of groups. We have 4 groups, but really I think we come together once a month to just celebrate, I think, like what we all together want to do. And so I think this cross collaboration across silos is really, I think, what makes Foresight, and with Foresight, I mean you guys, what makes it special. So thank you very, very much for being for being here with us and for participating so great. Also, we had a really strong member growth recently. So if you're a new member, welcome. If you're an existing member, help people feel welcome and feel at home. This community is as good as you make it. So please be super active. Nominate people, nominate topics that we should explore. Propose breakouts, propose exploratory sessions, and make this group your own, really. All right, so I promised you a few surprises. So I'm going to start with the first surprise, which is we now have a podcast. Yay! And so there have always been many of our videos that are more technical presentations that really need to be watched on YouTube, but we also have a lot of really good discussions. And so for those, to be more accessible, we now launched a podcast. And on that, we really share bits that are good for listening. And they go all the way from like old conversations that were all-time favorites to, now showcasing more work that's happening in the groups. So we're now doing a very soft launch. This podcast cannot be found yet on any of the major platforms, but it will be on after Monday when you can subscribe. But for now, Lou's sharing a kind of preview link. And there you can find a podcast with Balaji Srinivasan on the network state and Cloud Cities, that was from the Intelligent Corporation Group. Then with Aubrey de Grey on reaching escape velocity and longevity, and with Scott Aronson on quantum computing. So let us know how you like them, and let us know also which videos you want us to turn into podcasts next. So that's number one surprise. And we have to thank our funders really who have enabled us to just think a little bit bigger this year, and to also just produce better content for all of you. So if you're a funding member here, then please, this is our time to really thank you for making this happen. You're really like carrying the groups forward. Okay, surprise number one. Now I think we can get into business and into the silos. So we have 4 groups: Biotech, Molecular Machines, Intelligent Corporation, and Existential Hope. I will just share a few bits of the highlights. First of all, I want to thank our note takers in all of the groups, because now you can not only listen to the recordings afterwards, but the note takers have been working really, really hard on making sure that all of the seminar summaries are now in easy readable forms, where you can just get the main slides, get the main points super easy in a very informal informal wording. And so you can get up to speed super quickly, because I know a few of you don't really like to listen, so you can now have the seminar summaries also in place. And so in the Biotech group, I think, if I want to just start there with a few highlights, we started off, just kind of drafting out a few challenges that we want to tackle as a group this year. Our goal is really to try to use this incredible explosion in the biotech space to extend and improve human health span. And we've had a few fantastic presentations ranging all the way from institutional folks, such as like the NIA and FDA presented, such as really exciting companies in the space, such as Deep Longevity, all the way to research, like really just incredible research from Rina Comboy, for example, on plasma dilution. And so we've had a few fantastic projects. And I'm super happy to introduce you to Jean and Baird. Jean, if you're here, please say hi in the chat so people can find you. Jean is our first official accelerator accepted application. He is working on brain cell replacement to reverse aging. And so please say hi to him and check out his seminar summary. It's really fantastic. You'll hear much more of him in the remainder of this half year. In the remainder of this half year, we will also introduce you to 2 more accelerator projects. And we have a few really fantastic presentations coming up. And so we'll just continue the streak as we've done thus far. and that's, I think, my little highlight celebration from the Biotech group. But I would really say, speak for yourself, or see for yourself, because the seminar summaries are really just, I think, a really easy way to just get the main download on what happened in the group. In the molecular machines group, our goal in that group is to really try to push for Feynman's vision of molecular nanotechnology via accelerating work on molecular machines that's already available today. And thinking about what applications in healthcare and energy and in material science are needed to really improve our civilization long run. And so in that group, we have a variety of different presentations, all the way from institutional, funders, really like we had the DOE there, we had the NSF there, we had all the way to really fantastic keynote presentations from the main leaders in these fields, all the way to now our fellow presentations. And even there, we've started to do many more brainstorms. And at the end of the year, we'll publish a little report in each of those groups, and you will get to know, really just what happened in those brainstorms. This is, I think, in terms of my highlights for the molecular machines group. I'm super, super thrilled by how great the group is already collaborating, and really it's, I think, the most international group that we have this far, with a really, really strong European and Asian base as well. All right, and then last but not least, we have the Intelligent Cooperation Group. So this group is trying to use machine learning, crypto commerce, and computer science in general to allow a diversity of intelligence to cooperate. So the premise of this group is that we are likely going to be surrounded very soon, if we are not already, by a diversity of intelligences. And it's really, I think, for the long-term future of our civilization, we need to figure out how to cooperate with them. So we start with, what does cooperation already mean? So we went with Tyler Cohen and a few others through cooperation already. What does it mean today? And this was mostly economics. Then we moved to porting cooperation into the crypto commerce world and trying to find ways in which we can improve cooperation already. And now we are taking off and really will investigate how we can cooperate with artificial intelligences much better. We have Daniel Ellsberg, who leaked the Pentagon papers, coming up next week, which I'm totally excited about, and a few of really, really exciting presentations on AI lined up. So if you want to take a look at the seminar summaries thus far, you can do so in the links that Lou posted. Okay, I've now talked a lot to just tell you a few of the highlights, but really, like, this is just to basically give you an appetizer of what I'm hoping you'll find when you open up the seminar summaries. Again, thank you to our note takers for making it happen. Thank you so much for our funders for allowing us to do this. It really wouldn't be possible without you. And Lou will now give a little overview of Existential Hope before we have surprise number 2.
Yay, and before I give this review, actually, I also want to second Alison and reinforce Alison's gratitude for all of you here. It's always it's been an incredible adventure, really wonderful, and it's always so exciting to jump on these calls and have all this, the energy of all of you, working together and collaborating together toward wonderful goals. Thank you so much for the things you care about. It's just so great to have you all as collaborators. The Existential Hope group is a little bit different from the 3 rather technical groups that Alison presented. The premise of it is we live at this incredible time in the history of humanity where things can go either way in quite dramatically different directions. There are several incredible revolutions in technologies that are happening simultaneously, lots of which Foresight is really working actively to advance. And those open extraordinary possibilities for our future and present significant perils. And the most tragical of all being the threats to humanity's existence or potential. And so what we do with this group is that we really try to think forward to boost our wisdom and steer the present. We do foresight. We think of where we want to go so that we actually make it there. And the way we've been doing this is through exploring a couple of technology areas and challenges, which you can find via the link on the page of the Existential Hope program. And in parallel, we've been running Existential Hope sci-fi writing workshop, where we imagine those futures and biotechnology and challenges. So stay put. There will be more of this with some prompts. I won't tell you more. I won't spoil the surprise. But yeah, stay tuned. And again, thank you so much for all being here.
Well, that's a great segue into surprise number 2. And for that, I want to introduce you to Josh McManamy. And basically, we've been doing a lot of brainstorming already in the groups. And usually when we do bounty brainstorms, I then afterwards follow up with people to give them the bounty. So basically, we want to reward you and we want to compensate you for the expertise that you bring to those groups. And usually I do that literally by manually following up with you to pay you for the contributions that you make when we have those brainstorming sessions. But no longer, because now we have Josh McManamy. And Josh, maybe you want to present to us a little bit about the tool that we will be using to brainstorm in the second part of this year.
Hey, thanks for the introduction. Yeah, I'm building a question and marketplace app called dQuery. Basically, a user can ask a question, and as Allison said, you can put a bounty on this question, and then other users can earn that bounty by providing answers, and they earn the bounty based on the number of upvotes their answer gets. I'm going to link in the Zoom chat a link for more information to this app. We're also doing a sign-up bonus today, where if you sign up, you get $10 of in-app currency. You can use this in the app, and you can also cash out the currency on the Ethereum network for a stablecoin or via PayPal for USD. If you have any questions, I'll put my contact information. This is a very early stage project, so please reach out with any thoughts or questions you have. Thanks.
Thank you, Josh. If you are not on this website already, I'm going to post another time the link here in the chat, because we are having those kind of like cross-silo collaborative sessions once a month. And so in this month, today, we're launching the questions that will be open for the next month that we will then review at the next cross-silo collaboration. And we have staked $200 and 200 DEQ in that currency on the different questions. I'm going to read them out to you. In Existential Hope, we want to know from you, what will our lives look like once we reach escape velocity in longevity? In the Intelligent Cooperation Group, we want to know from you, what is the most exciting cooperative arrangement that could be unlocked with zero knowledge proofs? In the Molecular Machines Group, we want to know from you, what would be a good molecular machine focused program for DARPA or a similar international equivalent to take on 500 words? In the Biotech and Health Extension Group, we want to know from you, what is the most promising startup area for longevity innovation, and what projects do you want to see started? So if you want to answer those questions, sign up at the link that Josh said. I'm also going to share all of this in the follow-up email. And you can basically just submit a 500 words paragraph. And then by the end of this month, we will have a winner. And we're going to do this now from every month collaboration. So I'm super, super grateful that we now have a tool in which we can incentivize and get a little bit more group collaboration going with you. So please feel free to also nominate questions that you want others in this group to answer. You know, there should be a really good community tool over the long time. And I think it should help us to produce good content and to collaborate on projects together. Okay, now that we have reviewed surprise number 2, I want to give you a really quick outlook as to what to expect in the next year, in 2022. So we've been grinding away at already coming up with a few potential solutions. I think just to bring you up to speed, what people in the Foresight community care about is being part of committed communities that are effective, really, really effective at advancing technologies for the long-term benefit of life, right? And so usually we did that with technical competitions pre-pandemic, right? And those were very well curated events by which people got together. They were great, but then afterwards, often the collaboration, after a while, when people go back into their silos, go back into their respective places, it's really hard to keep collaboration going. But then COVID happened, and over COVID, we grew a really great long-term community that really meets regularly, which is all of you guys. And so now in the next year, we want to put those two pieces together, and we want to basically create the best of we want to continue the virtual community, and so that allows us to collaborate more long-term. But we also want to have very well curated meetings in which we meet, in which we just set goals, and that we can then follow up with in the virtual containers. And so this will be cross-continental and cross-silo, really. So I think we have a few very exciting things planned for the next year. We have a few exciting mentors committed. Fellowship applications will open soon. And so expect basically just combining what we used to do before the pandemic work into a new, I think, quite fantastic program. And I should say that we are going to start this with the third surprise, which is we now have dates for Vision Weekend locked in, which will happen in December 4 and 5. And I think there's no better way to start this new program, which will be hybrid in different continents, by having a Vision Weekend that is hybrid in different continents. So I will be doing Vision Weekend in San Francisco for everyone who is US in that corner of the world. Lou will be doing it in a wonderful chateau in a castle in France. And we will, in addition to that, also have a really great computer platform by which people can even check in from the different events. And so basically, you know, when Lou finishes her first day, you will pass on the buck to me starting the first day of Vision Weekend. Vision Weekend, for those of you who don't know that yet, is our annual member gathering by which we bring together the highlights of the year to celebrate with you and to launch into the next year. So that's on December 4 and 5. It's going to be in France and in the US. And yes, we're working on having one in Asia for next year. Yes, that's definitely on the list. Okay, now I've again talked a lot. I'm very, very, very excited. I'm super, super thrilled to have like such a flourishing community on board. And I think without like having told you a little bit about what we have in store for you in the next months will hopefully also allow you to contribute better in the way that, you know, I think like, you know, the skeleton of what we could be doing now in the next few years. Now it's upon you, you know, to fill in the blanks and to tell us how you want to collaborate with us. And so we really rely on all of you to make this container and to keep it great and even update it in ways that you'd like. Now that we have discussed the silos, let's break them. We are very, very excited to have a few fantastic speakers today that will take you into different breakout rooms. And you can pick the one that you'd like to attend and vote with your feet and switch around the Zoom rooms in case you don't want to. That's one of the perks of the virtual. And so I will introduce you very briefly to the speakers. Creon, if you are here, do you just want to say a few words about what you'll discuss in your room, and then we'll move along.
Okay, well, in my room, we're going to be discussing space futures and challenges and opportunities, and maybe bright ideas that people have. So yeah, our future as a multiplanetary species, or as an expansion into the rest of the universe, kind of where we are, where we'd like to be, and what we are missing in order to get there.
Lovely. Okay, fantastic. Sandrine, I think I saw you logging on. What are you going to talk about in your room?
Hi, everyone. I'm going to speak about neurogenesis, so the concept of that adults can still make new neurons throughout life. We'll discuss, is this really true? What are these adult-born neurons for? They have a specific function, and how can you make some more?
Lovely, quite exciting. And then we have Will and Jan. What are you going to discuss?
Hey, so both Jan and I work on building quantum computers. Joe's going to interview us on what the state of the art is in the technology. Jan's building them. I'm trying to figure out how to use them. You know, come find out what the state of things are, ask questions about what things could be. And it might be fun to think more than, you know, 5 or 10 years ahead, but like, where does this go in the long term? Jan, is there anything you want to add?
No, I think this was a very good summary, I guess, of what we are going to talk about.
Oh, very exciting, man! It's already the agony of choice to even discuss which group to join. But we're not done yet. We have JJ and Joe. What are you going to discuss?
Hey, it's JJ. We're going to discuss the confluence of biology and artificial intelligence, especially it's actually both medicine and just biology in general, and kind of like the futures that how to get to the future of that, and transhumanism and synthetic biology and those things.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, I didn't know that you're going to go all the way. I'm very, very, very excited. For
all the way.
All the way. Okay. Next one up, we have Manuel. What are you going to discuss?
Hi, everybody. So we have a very serious climate crisis upon us, and the way it's going to manifest itself, it's already manifesting itself, is through very nasty weather. So we're going to talk about moonshot technologies for targeted weather security, and going to talk about some of the moonshots we're working on.
Fantastic. Very exciting. Follow Manuel if you want to discuss this. Next one, Jamie and Rachel.
Hi, everyone. So Rachel's from the Consilience Project. I'm from the Society Library. We're both collective intelligence organizations and sense-making projects. So join us if you want to talk about COVID-19 epistemics and bias in sense-making and where we can go from here in terms of collaboration. Rachel, do you want to add anything?
Sure. I was just going to say that we wanted to discuss how COVID-19 was more than just a biological pandemic, but it was also a social disease. And the rate limiting steps were often not the science or the technology, but limits to cooperation, coordination, and communication.
Thank you so much. Okay, and last but not least, we have Josh. Josh Tan, what are you going to discuss?
Hi, everyone. I'm Josh. So in my room, I'll be leading discussion on governance, online governance, and how to build the future of governance on the basis of more rigorous experimentation.
Wow. Okay. I don't envy you for all of you guys having to choose amongst them now. We will be recording most of the meetings, at least a few of them off the record. And so I'm really hoping that, you know, we will make those available later, and you can afterwards maybe peek into the ones that you didn't get to join. Okay, but without further ado, what I will do now, and this is always the difficult part with online events, I will port you into the different breakout rooms with the individual speakers. So I will open up the breakout rooms now, and you should see the name. Okay, I'm opening them right now. You should see the name of different breakout rooms and the title, and then you can pick the one that you want to go into. And if anything is ever not working, one of us, Lou or I, will always be manning this office. So one of us, womaning this office, one of us will always be here. So Lou, I don't know if you want to say a few final words before people port away.
Just enjoy the sessions, everyone. See you on the other side. As Alison said, we'll be here if you have any questions, or just decide that despite this completely insane lineup, we are the most interesting thing around. We are not, just so you know. But yeah, have fun.
Have fun, and we will see you again in the groups to start the next half year of this program. So this is all of it from us. We will be here. We will be socializing with you in the different groups. I just want to say the main groups will start at halftime. And so before halftime, you still have 7 minutes to introduce yourself to other group members, right? And to say who you are, to say what your goals are, to say what you really liked about the work that was produced in your group so far, because like that, you can get a little bit more cross collaboration going and tell each other what your highlights were. You've heard from Lou and I now what we really loved about this year, but we want to hear from all of you. So introduce yourself until, well, in the next 6 minutes, introduce yourself to each other, popcorn around, get cozy with each other, and then we will be here if there's any problems. And we will see you again in our different silos for the next time of the half year until next month's group meeting. All right, everyone, bye-bye.